The Dallas Cowboys find themselves at a critical juncture as they navigate the complexities of roster management, salary cap constraints, and the recovery of their franchise quarterback, Dak Prescott. Coming off a season where injuries played a significant role in shaping their performance, all eyes are on Prescott, who has returned from injury with renewed determination. However, while his recovery is great news for Cowboys fans, his massive contract now casts a shadow over the team's ability to secure and retain key defensive talent, raising concerns about the team's overall future competitiveness. Dak Prescott's injury history has been a roller coaster ride for the Cowboys organization and their loyal fan base. From his devastating ankle injury in 2020 to dealing with shoulder and calf issues in subsequent seasons, Prescott has had his fair share of physical setbacks. Yet, time and time again, he has proven his resilience and commitment to returning stronger. His work ethic, leadership, and talent have never been in doubt, and as he steps onto the field fully recovered, there is no denying that his presence brings stability to the Cowboys' offense. The problem, however, isn't just about Prescott's health. It's about what the Cowboys can afford to build around him now that he occupies a massive portion of the team's payroll. In 2021, the Cowboys signed Dak Prescott to a 4-year, $160 million contract, which included $126 million in guaranteed money. While at the time, it was seen as a necessary move to secure their franchise quarterback, the financial implications of that deal are now coming to light. With an average annual salary of $40 million, Prescott is one of the highest-paid quarterbacks in the league, and that kind of money inevitably affects the team's ability to allocate resources elsewhere. This offseason, the Cowboys are finding themselves in a challenging position when it comes to making critical roster upgrades and retaining key defensive leaders. However, with the financial strain created by Prescott's contract, the Cowboys now face difficult decisions about who they can afford to keep and who might be heading elsewhere in free agency. Trayvon Diggs, a cornerstone of the Cowboys' secondary, has been due for a contract extension, and securing him comes at a steep price. With market values soaring for elite cornerbacks, Diggs could command top-tier money, something the Cowboys may struggle to accommodate without making sacrifices elsewhere. The same goes for Micah Parsons, who, though still on his rookie deal, will soon require an extension that will undoubtedly make him one of the highest-paid defensive players in the league. Then there's the issue of depth. The Cowboys' defensive success wasn't just about their stars. It was also about the supporting cast that provided stability and allowed playmakers to shine. With limited cap space, Dallas has already had to make tough calls on key role players, letting some test the open market rather than offering competitive deals. This kind of roster depletion could prove costly in the long run, especially in a league where injuries and attrition are inevitable over a grueling 17-game season. The financial crunch has also made it challenging for the Cowboys to be aggressive in free agency. Unlike other teams that can afford to pursue high-impact signings to bolster their roster, the Cowboys have been more restricted in their approach. Instead of targeting top-tier talent, they have had to look for bargain deals, veteran players on short-term contracts, or rely on the draft to fill roster gaps. While the draft remains a crucial tool for roster building, it's always a gamble rookies take time to develop, and not every draft pick pans out the way teams hope. Meanwhile, other teams in the NFC are making significant moves to strengthen their rosters, leaving Cowboys fans wondering if their team will be left behind. The Philadelphia Eagles, for instance, have aggressively pursued roster upgrades, while teams like the San Francisco 49ers and Detroit Lions are building strong cores that will make them formidable opponents in the coming seasons. If the Cowboys are unable to maintain their defensive edge due to financial limitations, they could find themselves falling behind in the highly competitive NFC. From an organizational standpoint, the Cowboys face a tough balancing act. On one hand, Having a franchise quarterback like Dak Prescott is a luxury that many teams struggle to find. Stability at the quarterback position is one of the most critical factors in a team's long-term success, and Prescott has provided that for Dallas. However, the reality of the NFL's salary cap structure means that teams have to be strategic about how they build around their highly paid signal callers. Teams like the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills have faced similar challenges after paying their quarterbacks top dollar, and the way they've navigated those obstacles provides valuable lessons for Dallas. One potential solution the Cowboys could explore is restructuring Prescott's contract to create more cap flexibility. Many teams use this strategy, converting portions of a player's salary into signing bonuses to spread out cap hits over multiple years. However, doing so also pushes financial burdens into the future, which can create problems down the road. The Cowboys have to decide whether short-term relief is worth potential long-term consequences. Another approach could be prioritizing young, cost-effective talent through the draft. If the Cowboys can hit on multiple draft picks and develop players quickly, they could offset some of the financial strain by having key contributors on rookie contracts. This method, while ideal in theory, is easier said than done. Drafting is an inexact science, and not every player develops into a star. For Dak Prescott, the pressure is mounting. With his contract limiting the team's flexibility, he has to prove that he can elevate the team despite the challenges. He has shown flashes of elite play, but consistency has been an issue. If he can play at an MVP caliber level, he may be able to mask some of the team's deficiencies. However, if he struggles, the criticism will only intensify, and questions about whether the Cowboys made the right financial commitment to him will resurface. Ultimately, the Cowboys are at a crossroads. The return of Dak Prescott is undoubtedly a positive development, but his contract poses serious challenges that could impact the team's ability to sustain success. The front office must navigate these obstacles carefully, making calculated decisions about who to retain, where to allocate resources, and how to ensure that the team remains competitive in an ever-evolving NFL landscape. Cowboys fans are eager for a championship, and while Prescott gives them a chance to contend, the road ahead is filled with difficult choices and high-stakes decisions. Whether the Cowboys can strike the right balance remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: this offseason will be one of the most critical in shaping the franchise's future.